singing bowl, because even as you put it down, it's still, it's really cool. If I do say so myself. So please stay in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, and that is A Gift to Be Simple. And that's number 16 in your gray hymnal, and we'll be doing that 2 times through. Okay, and we'll sing that 2 times through. It's really nice to see everybody today. So cold. It was like so hot yesterday. It's so cold today. So welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Hillsborough, where we constantly strive to be an open and welcoming congregation to all who seek community and support. We don't require that we all adhere to one specific creed or common belief or ritualistic practice, but rather we are a covenant community, committed to loving and supporting each other in our individual, lifelong quest for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. So, whoever you are, member, guest, or friend, and for whatever reason or purpose guided you to join us here today, either in person or online, we welcome you. My name's Linda Seligman, and I'm the worship coordinator for today's service. I want to thank everyone who's helped make this worship experience possible, that it's happening. So I'll start by thanking Aviva, our awesome musical director, Aviva Enoch, and she coordinates our team and all the music for today. And I especially want to also thank our religious exploration teachers. Are you folks here today? Anybody here? Okay, great. Okay, good. Okay, thank you for all that you do. By the way, I've realized that the middle schoolers are going to Nancy Tattersall's house and is doing a special ritualistic...
Amy Tattersall.
Yeah, Amy Tattersall's, yeah. Is that what I said?
You said Nancy Tattersall.
My mind and my mouth have not been connected to names lately. Sorry about that. So anyway, they're going over there. They're doing a ritualistic practice, a pagan practice, which is very you of us. And a special thanks to Amy Dark. Amy, I saw you. Yep, there she is. She coordinates our order of service, and for AC back there, who also takes care of our order service and makes sure it gets handed out every week. And a big thank you to Steve Mahilly. He's not here.
He's on a motorcycle ride.
Oh, okay, great. And for Alex, who takes care of our online worship and taking care of our communications. And we also want to thank our listening ear today, who's Patty O'Connor. Patty, there you are. Great. And today it's my special pleasure to introduce my chaplain friend, Henley Levi Holder Brown. Their pronouns are they, them, theirs, and they are chaplain resident at UNC Chapel Hill Hospital. Henley identifies as a queer, transmasculine, non-binary person who is also white, indigenous, autistic, and disabled. It just happens to be a fantastic person. And you forgot the part about being really into Legos. Oh. He's really, very into Legos. Henley lives in Durham, on the land of the Eno and Okanagan people, with their wife Amy and 2 black labs, Shadow and Loki. Henley is passionate about providing spiritual and emotional care to people on the margins, and especially with people who are on a faith journey. Henley grew up in a conservative Baptist church home, but no longer consider themselves Christian. Henley is on a faith journey path, searching for where they belong, exploring indigenous spirituality, paganism, religious naturalism, Buddhism, and progressive Judaism. You've got a lot on your plate. Today, Henley will give us a sermon titled Delightfully Queer, which is a message of how LGBTQIA people can find their own joy and resilience in who they are. Because in spite of what the government and the world at large may say, queer people are a delight. So we are welcome you all today, and thank you for being here. But before we create our time of worship, let's make a time to share any important announcements. And this is a really good time to make sure these get put into quiet mode.
Your flashlight's on.
Oh, wow. Sometimes it's just all systems are go, right? Yeah, so things like that, turn them off. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I did it again.
This little light of mine.
Yeah, really, yeah. Who needs the chalice, right? They'll just keep you all lit up. Oh boy. Sometimes you just have to roll with it, right?
I have announcements. Is that what we're going to do?
Okay, yeah, we're just about there. We're going to enjoy our coffee time after our service in the library. We're on level green, so masks are optional. We have some in the hallway if you'd like one. And now's the time for announcements.
Always have one on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and after service today, we're having the joint meeting of the GovCo and the MidCo, and we're going to be talking about budget priorities. So if anyone would like to join, I believe the link was in the members' newsletter, or just text or email or ask Amy. She'll be happy to send you the Zoom link if you would like to join in. Also, next Sunday, I am planning to stay after the service and have a town hall with everyone to talk about the what's going on with leadership in the congregation and where we are in terms of hiring a minister. Lou and I have an appointment with the transitions office on Tuesday, so we'd like to share what we learned from that and what the plan going forward is. So plan to stay after the service next Sunday and join us in that conversation.
So the songbirds are singing tonight here in the sanctuary. We have our regular first Sunday practice from 7 to 8:30, and everyone is welcome. Anyone who wants to come, whether you've signed before with us or not, are welcome.
Hi, I'm Aurora. I'm the Children's Religious Exploration Lead, and I just wanted to say, while we don't have a formal RE plan for today, if our youngest members would like to go out on the playground during the sermon, during the time when they would normally go to RE, Annabelle and I are here to supervise. I'd like to kind of try, because I know it makes it easier for parents to have an option, and I know that kids, this is a long time to sit if you're a young parishioner. So if you would be willing to be a playground chaperone, you don't have to do a lot of work. Annabelle, our lovely intern, is like, will play and entertain and kind of corral. You just have to be like the responsible supervising adult. Talk to me if you'd be willing to do this once or twice over the summer. We'd love to kind of make this an ongoing thing, but I and a lot of our normal RE people are, have company coming or traveling, so we don't have as much volunteer power during the summer as we do during the fall. So you just have to like do a background check, and it's very painless. You just kind of fill out a form and send it off, and then you can just watch kids play once or twice, which is delightful. So let me know, and thank you. And kids, just feel free to exit as you would like to during the after joys and concerns.
Good morning, I am Patty O'Connor, and I'm not going to talk about coffee ever. How's that? But I am going to talk about this. Amy Tattersall got this at an event, and she wanted to share it and post it here in the church. It's about a Juneteenth celebration. And Juneteenth is actually June 19th, first celebrated in 1865, I believe, to celebrate the emancipation of the Texas people who had not been emancipated for, I think, 3 years after they were supposed to be. But anyway, the celebration is called Portraits of Freedom. It's Saturday, June 17th at the Eno Arts Mill. And, as we consider the eighth principle, it's maybe a good time to be involved in celebration with people of color. And I'm listening here, by the way, if you have anything you need to share.
Are there any more announcements? Okay, well, in that case, we'll begin with the lighting of our chalice, which is our time-honored symbol of the light and loving warmth of our community of faith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to read, this is a selection called Wholeness by Sharon Wiley. We speak so often of brokenness in religious life. Let us speak today of wholeness. You are welcome here, all of you. Every part of you beautiful just the way you are. Here you do not need to be something more or something less. No holding back, no hiding, no exerting yourself, no trying to do more or be more. You have inherent worth and dignity. Nothing to prove here, nothing to prove to me, or the person sitting next to you, or to the children, or to anyone. You don't have to try and be witty, or more quiet, or more outgoing. You are beautiful, every part of you beautiful just the way you are. You do not need to change anything about yourself to be welcome here. Your skin, your hair, your belly, your limbs, your face, all beautiful just the way you are. You are extraordinary, each and every one of you different from each and beautiful in your own way, breathtaking. Let us worship together.
Now in our teal hymnal, please stand in body of spirit as we sing our opening hymn, How Could Anyone, number 1053.
How could anyone fail to notice?
Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take some time to reflect on the special happenings that have occurred this week among our members and friends. Some choose to share aloud, while others choose to remain silent, and we make room for both here. For those of you who would like to share aloud, please take a moment before we begin to center yourself and collect your thoughts so that what you share this morning is personal, heartfelt, and brief. So now please come forward, tell us your name, and share what is in your heart. And when you're finished, you may release a stone into the vase on the altar. And for those of you joining us online and would like to share your joys or concerns with us, please put it in the chat and tell us if you'd like us to read it aloud, and we'll be happy to do that for you and put a stone in for you as well. For those of you who would prefer to silently acknowledge your joys and sorrows remaining in your hearts, I invite you to come to the altar and release a stone into the vase in silence while Viva plays Spirit of Life. And after she plays it through one time, then you're all invited to join in singing this meditation song, and the words are printed in your order of service. We hold all these things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken. And by remaining silent for a moment, let us consider what has been shared and how we might respond. And let us close together with Amen and blessed be. Amen. Blessed be. And now we'll be singing children to their class. Or their activities, outdoors.
Yes. So fellowship time.
Whatever they do, they're going. And we love them. Let's sing the children's blessing located inside the back cover of your gray hymnal.
Good morning again, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm very happy to be here with you all. I think this is my third time being with you. It's always been a delight to be here. So, again, my name is Henley. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And I would love to start us off, first off, by saying Happy Pride Month. So, very excited. And I would like to start us off with a poem This is by Reverend Hannah Roberts Villeneuve. It is entitled A Protest and a Party. People sometimes ask, is pride a protest or a party? And the answer is, of course, yes. And why not? Why not rejoice as we resist, dance as we demand change, celebrate as we create community that delights in all of who we are? So bring all of that with you this morning. Bring your policy demands, bring your glitter, bring your Supreme Court broken heart, bring your rainbow socks, bring the emptiness you feel for our siblings gone too soon. Bring your Gloria Estefan remix, bring your tender hope for change, bring your most garish eyeshadow, bring your spirit tattered and battered by a world that seems insistent on choosing fear and hate. Gather up all of those things and bring them here to a place where we don't have to shoulder those burdens or celebrate these joys alone. This message today is especially for all of the LGBTQIA folks here. Today, Pride Month can be, and often is, a complicated celebration for the queer community. On the one hand, we get to celebrate who we are with a certain level of abandon. Rainbows, glitter, parades, parties, corporations we work for suddenly remembering that they hired queer people and putting them in the memos, putting up banners for us until July 1 hits. And then we move from celebrating the resistance of nationalism and oppression to celebrating a nation that is rooted in systemic oppression of queer people, Black and Indigenous people of color, poor and disabled people, and everyone else on the margins. And I know, here today I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, but the rainbow capitalism that surrounds us during this month will be so quickly replaced, it feels like emotional whiplash when the American flags come out. Queer celebration must always be rooted in resistance. Drag queens and trans femmes of color didn't throw bricks at cops at the Stonewall Inn for us to only celebrate ourselves once a year when we're allowed to. So, since today's theme is delight, here are some reminders that queerness is a delight all year round, even when our government at the local and national level continues to try to legislate us out of existence. They can never tell us who we are. They can never get rid of us. So, let's first talk about what is a delight? Do you know how incredibly delightful all of you are? Here's what that word means. Delight, as a verb, means to please someone greatly. Several synonyms include, but are not limited to, charm, enchant, captivate, entrance, bewitch, thrill, excite, entertain, gladden, amuse, and my personal favorite, tickle pink. I love it so much. As a noun, it means great pleasure, and other synonyms include happiness, joy, and glee. Ross Gay, an American poet and essayist, has a book entitled A Book of Delights, in which he writes an essay or a poem every day for a year about something that brings him delight. So, a la Ross Gay, the following is a list of delights that I have found and seen over the years in the queer community. A Latinx trans woman who works at our local McDonald's, who shows up to work each day with her nails done, her hair and makeup are on point, and a smile on her face brings me delight whenever I see her, because she finally gets to be who she is, and who she has always been, and every time I see her, she is glowing. Another delight is the lesbian couple that lives down the street from us, who I saw the other day walking from their end of the street to ours, so they could smell the magnolia blooms on a tree right next door. That is a delight. Witnessing several of my trans masculine and non-binary friends get their gender-affirming top surgeries and seeing the pictures of their unabashed joy and the scars that mark the transition for them. There are no words for that delight. It is the same delight that I felt when I had my first gender-affirming surgery and felt a wholeness in my body that I didn't know was possible. To the queer, trans, and non-binary people I work with at UNC hospitals every day, they know who they are. To see them in the hallways and talk with them and have a moment of knowing and seeing each other, beholding each other's true selves, is a delight. To my wife, who is here this morning, who loves me every day in all the ways that matter for our love and marriage of 5 years and the life we have made together, there is so much delight. To my asexual and aromantic siblings, who love and receive love in different ways than other members of our community. We may not always see you, but I see you, and you are a delight. To my intersex siblings who are ostracized by the medical community in much the same way as trans people are, if not more sometimes, I see you. Your bodies are not an accident. Your inability to be categorized as one thing or another is not bad. You are beloved, and you are a delight. To everyone listening to me today, you are a delight just by being you. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently. So, how do we continue to find that delight and joy in our identities as queer people, as people of faith? And how can the rest of you listening who are allies show up and be advocates and co-conspirators with us? I want to share a few sacred texts with you that I believe give us some clues as to how we can be showing up for one another during such a crucial time in our country's and our world's history. This is our time to continue resisting oppression. And one way of doing that is speaking up against injustice and living into our own resilience and joy by being unapologetically who we are. This first text comes from the book of Isaiah in the Hebrew Bible. This is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verses 5 through 8. Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen? To loose the chains of injustice, to untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free, and to break every yoke. Is it not to share your food with the hungry and provide the poor wanderer with shelter? When you see the naked, to clothe them, and to not turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the divine will be your guard. The second sacred text is from one of my favorite movies that was adapted from a book. You may have heard of it. It's The Lord of the Rings. The following is an excerpt from the second movie, The Two Towers. And it's a conversation between two of the main characters, Frodo and Sam, during a crucial moment in their journey to get that ring to Mordor and destroy it. But they're in a battle. People are dying all around them. There's a dragon-like creature wreaking havoc. Soldiers are fighting. They are at their wits' end and not sure if they will survive this journey. And Frodo says, I can't do this, Sam. And Sam says, I know, it's all wrong. By all rights, we shouldn't even be here, but we are. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were, and sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it is only a passing thing. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something. Even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in these stories had a lot of chances turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something. Frodo says, what were we holding on to, Sam? Sam says that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. There is some good in this world, and it is worth fighting for. We are worth fighting for. let us lean into the joy of being ourselves. When we celebrate Pride, we are resisting the things that have caused us death and harm. The first Pride was a protest, first and foremost. Before we could celebrate, we had to survive. We are often still just trying to survive. And we resist, and we celebrate, and we delight in who we are. I think of Marsha P. Johnson today, a black trans woman, who was one of the first to throw a brick in protest at Stonewall. Marsha was not afraid to celebrate who she was and fight back when she was not accepted. But later, she was murdered, and her body found in a river, because the world sadly and tragically was not ready to celebrate her in her fullness and beauty. Marsha's life and influence still lives on today as we celebrate Pride each year because of what she and many others fought for. And so my final sacred text today is Lucille Clifton's poem, Won't You Celebrate With Me, which I find very fitting of Marsha's life and of so many of ours. Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I have no model. Born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. What did I see to be except myself? I made it up. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight my other hand. Come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. So come and celebrate with us this month and every day, that every day something has tried to kill us and has failed. May you go forth and know that you are delights, and don't let anyone steal your joy. May it be so. Amen.
Thank you, Henley. Of course, it was delightful. I had to say that. Sorry about that. At this time each Sunday, we take up a monetary offering which supports our social justice work in our Orange County communities. This month, our plate goes to OCIM, Orange Congregations in Mission. Please donate by placing cash or checks in the offering plate. And if a check, please write plate in the memo line, or you can go to our website and hit the donate button, or use the QR code on your order of service. And thank you for your generosity.
Just the sacred flame.
beautiful. Thank you. Please join me in our prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For all the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful. And please stand in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn. Answering the call of love. In your book it says standing on the side of love, but that was changed so that it was an ableist in title. So it's answering the call of love. That's how it's been changed. We'll be singing that 2 times through, and that's on 10:14.
One time.
One time through.
There's 3 verses.
There, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, one time. Okay, sorry. And on 10:14, your keel bundle.
As we come to the close of this service, I'd like to read, this is a selection entitled A Love Poem to Queers. This is from In Flesh, which is a very lovely resource for liturgy for interfaith people. It was written by Reverend Anna Bladell and Reverend M.J. Kaiser. Queer lovers, or queer loves, who long for healing, who ache with exhaustion, who have been alone for too long, who know deep in our bones how very good it is, how very much it hurts to keep living, to keep loving. Queer loves, let us remember that which is strange, that which is met with disgust, that which is deemed incompatible, illegal, unworthy, is the very sight of the sacred and a source of holiness. Queer loves, we know far better than they how to live in unlivable places, how to pray in spirit, drenched ways in the midst of everyday evil, how to hold each other through impossible choices of inevitable loss. Queer loves, there is power in staying and fighting for our lives. There is power in leaving for the sake of our lives. Through all the noise and hate and shallow misunderstandings, through all the competing voices telling us what we have to do to be, we, dear loves, know what we need. Listen, listen, listen. Queer loves, we are birthed from something wildly holy. We are made from and for a dream of flourishing, crossing time and space. Our ancestors labored for us to make this possible. The dykes who danced cheek to cheek, the sissies who marched arm in arm, the queers who found God in each other, in alleyways and choir lofts, and quiet glances across crowded rooms. The trans godmothers with bricks in their hands and the strength of the softness in their flesh. While the police raided, while the church raged, while death and destruction have their way, so too do life and love. Because they knew. Because we know. Disconnecting from delight is deadly. Trusting in delight is a necessary spiritual practice of survival. We, queer loves, make a future possible. We need each other, and we have each other. We have and are enough. May it be so.
Now please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU chalice and the words are in order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.